Hello, my name is Mrs. Allison. I am going to walk you through the steps to be able to solve a system of equations two different ways. We're going to look at both substitution and elimination. This first video is just substitution. And what I'm hoping is that this is a review for you, but in case it's not, I'm going to present it as if it's new, and then you can reference back to it anytime you're working on solving systems by substitution. So let's begin. When would we choose substitution? Well, I would choose substitution if I happen to have a variable that is by itself, meaning the leading coefficient is 1, like this x is right here. So that is a time when I would choose substitution. This could be either x or y. It doesn't have to be just x by itself, but if there is a variable by itself, that's when I would choose to use substitution. Now, in order to use substitution, I need to get that variable alone, meaning I need to get rid of the 4y so that I can actually make a substitution. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go through and I am going to take this equation, the x plus 4y, and I'm going to solve it for x. So to do that, I'm going to undo the 4y by subtracting 4y from both sides of the equation. And that leaves me with the equation x equals negative 4y. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to take this equation now, this x equals, and I'm going to plug it in place of x in my first equation. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take what x equals, which is negative 4y, and I am going to substitute it in place of x in my first equation. So here's what that looks like. My first equation was negative 2x plus 2y equals 10. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I know x to equal, which is negative 4y, and every place I had an x in my original equation, I am going to substitute in what I know x to equal. So now what I can do is my math. I can take and I can multiply the negative 2 times the negative 4y to get positive 8y. And then I still have the plus 2y equals 10. And then I'm going to combine my like terms to give me 10y equals 10. And then I'm going to divide by 10 on both sides, and I get y equals 1. Now, hopefully what you remember from system of equations is that there will be an ordered pair as an answer, both an x and a y, or whatever your two variables happen to be. So I'm going to use substitution again. This time I'm going to take what y equals, which is 1, and I'm going to substitute it back into one of my equations. Now the good news is I can substitute it back into the first equation, I can substitute it back into the second equation, or I can even go back into the one that I've already solved for. You get to pick whatever one you think looks the easiest. And I think on this particular one, I'm going to go back into this x equals negative 4y equation. So I am going to take this y equals 1 and substitute it in place of y in that equation. So I originally had x equals negative 4y, but instead of y, I'm going to put 1 because that's what I know y to equal. And now I'm going to finish solving, so we get x equals negative 4. So it appears to me that my answer is negative 4, 1. Now, a good habit to always get into with systems of equations is that I can check my work. I can take what x and y equal, and I can substitute them into both equations just to make sure they work. So if we wanted to do that, it would look like this. Is negative 2 times negative 4 plus 2 times 1 equal to 10? And what I see here is this gives me positive 8 plus 2 equals 10, and that holds true. And then is x, which is negative 4, plus 4 times 1, which is y, oops, I lost the 1, equal to 0. And I get negative 4 plus 4 equals 0, and that holds true as well. So therefore, I know that my final answer is the answer negative 4, 1. X is negative 4, y is 1.